Hi, everybody. I know people are just getting their notices of coming in, but hello to Glow and Janice, outdated. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well on this Memorial Day weekend here in the United States. Not quite sure where Ness is. I don't know if she forgot. I don't know if she's okay. It might just be that she forgot. It is the holiday weekend, and sometimes we get turned around. It seems like Sunday. It seems like a Sunday. So anyway, if she doesn't show up, we'll do something different. How about that? There would be a time in my channel history where I would be panic stricken because my guests wouldn't be here. I'm not that way anymore. After 5.5 years, I think I'm okay. But anyway, it's really not. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Sonia. It's wonderful to see you both. I hope that you are having a good weekend, even though it's Monday, but it is still the weekend. It's still the holiday weekend. So I hope you, I didn't do anything, but I'm doing a thing called Swedish death cleaning. I didn't know that was the name of it, but I have a dumpster and I have many, many, many garbage bags full of stuff to give to Goodwill and throw away. And I've already made a trip to Goodwill probably about 20 times. Hi, Linda Bishop. Oh, I bet it's hot there. Yeah. But I'm making some progress. The only problem I'm having is I ache all over. Michelle, today's your birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome, possum. So you're a Gemini. Sonia, you need to do that. I'll talk about it a little bit if that helps. Hello, Wayne. How are you, Wayne? Oh, here's Ness. Okay.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Allie. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I thought maybe
with StreamYard.
No, it just seems like it's not a really like a Monday because it's the holiday weekend.
Yeah,
You know?
I think StreamYard thought the same thing. So.
I get you. No problem at all. I was saying that if this in the very beginning when I first had a channel, if my guest didn't show up, I would.
Yeah, like it would be like the end of the world.
Oh my God, what am I gonna do? You know, but I wasn't feeling that way. It was
I can really relate to that. I was actually just talking about my debut with YouTube. I'm on my 1 year mark right now, and yeah, it's interesting what you feel in the beginning, that acute phase. Versus where you are now. And I just want to say hi everyone in the chat, but also if anyone is ever considering coming on to YouTube, join us, because YouTube is still growing. We're not even at the apex of where we would be with Instagram and Facebook. It's still growing and growing and growing, and so there's plenty of room. So yeah, we'd love to have you here. I see Wayne. Wayne always has the amazing. Oh, is it your birthday, Allie?
No, it's Michelle's.
Oh, okay. Hi, Michelle. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, the astrology is really good for your birthday, Michelle. Venus and Jupiter in the same sign. So that means wherever the planets are in your birthday, it forecasts for the next 12 months. And so, Michelle, you're having a really good birthday year. Enjoy it.
Is that going to bring love? Because Venus is
Venus is not just love, though. I often say this when I teach astrology is, and I have a calendar too thing that I was able to give to you as well, is think of Venus like wherever Venus visits in your chart is like a scene from Harry Potter. So like someone waves a wand and all of a sudden, flowers appear from the cracks and broken dishes are repaired. And, it's almost that scene in Harry Potter when you see them going into their cafeteria, where it's like a cornucopia spread of food and abundance and, just like Thanksgiving dinner with ice cream and pastries. And so Venus Venus is just good, blessings, abundance, material enjoyment of things. And so wherever Venus goes, we just see the potential of what an ideal state could be.
Uh-huh.
And then Jupiter is just mentally very positive, very expansive. It can see like the forest for the trees. It
Mm-hmm.
knows everything is going to be okay, but it wants more. And so when they both are together, it's very, very positive. So
Oh, that's
yeah, very,
wonderful.
very. Oh,
That's
hi,
wonderful.
Viviani. Oh,
I just want to say hi to everybody that just
yeah,
came
yeah,
into the
yeah.
chat. Thank you so much for
Welcome.
being here. Brandon and Viviani and Wayne, I didn't get to say hi to you yet. And somebody else just came in. Sonia and Salama. It's nice to see you. I have to tease Ness right now
Yes, yes, yes.
because Ness remembers her dreams. She's got a host
Yes,
of talents. She
yes,
really,
yes,
really
yes.
does. And so she had a dream that was a little bit complicated. And she said, maybe I should come on and talk on the
Yeah,
channel,
yeah,
on
yeah,
doing the dream show. I
yeah.
said, of course. So she come in and I said, you can stay for the whole thing. Oh, no, no. I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay. I feel nervous. I don't want to be I said, and later I said, you ought to have a channel, Nest. No, 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 no. So I'm glad you changed your mind. And because there's a lot of people that do, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
well,
yeah.
when it's our time to do
Ye
it.
yes,
But
yes.
I'm very pleased to see you here. I'm very pleased that you've
Yeah.
expanded your repertoire of what you
Yeah,
can do.
yeah.
And yeah, I just wanted to say that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I also love the dream show that both of you, the 3 of you, the 4 of you do, once a week. It's so underappreciated, but I feel like it will gain more steam and people will be more aware of it because
Eventually.
dreams
Yeah.
are just such a powerful way we are spoken to. We
Mhm.
have tarot, we have astrology, we have our own psychic hits or downloads of, oh, all of a sudden I had an epiphany about this, and that doesn't feel like my thought. It feels like someone just, told me. And
Yeah.
so I think dreams are also a powerful way to receive messages, answer things. And I think what you all do with, you, Terry, Diana,
Mhm.
Kelly, offer is just so amazing. It's just like,
It's
and the
really
fact that,
grown. Yeah, it's really grown exponentially. We're very
yeah,
lucky. Yeah.
yeah, very, but also the fact that I can present a dream and then all 4 of you chime in or 3 of, like it's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a really good
Yeah.
one-stop
And of
shop.
course, it's always your own interpretation that's the most important because
Yes,
you are the
yes,
dreamer. But
yes.
the fact that you can grow and learn some of those symbols that are for yourself. So thanks, Ness. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was on Linda's show in December and I did a a call out request for people to submit dreams. And
Hmm.
then, especially their Trump dreams. Like, let's, tell me what you're seeing. And then I received all of that and I made this analysis. I put them into a program, it crunched the data and it said this is the trends that it's seeing. And at the time, this is in December, that they saw Trump was his downfall was going to be something he says. There was something he verbally says. That's what people were picking up.
Uh-huh.
Something about his mouth, his words get him into trouble, which is interesting because he's a Gemini. Gemini is ruled by communication.
Yeah.
Um, and I have a show with Linda next week, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to ask everyone for their dreams
Hmm.
and submit it, and then I'm gonna tally it up and just see where we are 6 months later, but it'll be interesting to see, what people are
Well,
collectively
some
dreaming.
of the things that I could even say at this point were when he opened his mouth and said he didn't care about what other people were going through, or he didn't
Oh, I
worry about.
know, what a
And that was
gap.
a very, very large
That was a very large gap.
to do
Yes.
on there. Yeah,
But
that really.
then a couple days later, he came back with this $1.8 trillion slush fund, and that's a gap
I know,
too.
I know, I know.
It's a
Yeah,
very, very, very.
you can't stop a person who has cognitive ability problems
Yeah.
from saying whatever's on their mind at
So
that
let
moment.
me ask you a question, Ali, about this. Like when you go into your heart of hearts, when you feel into it, how
Mhm.
does this story end? How does this music end, in terms of what we're seeing here with Trump, with this administration, with
With
the
the
award, like what are you
administration.
feeling? Yeah.
Um, I
Do you think he's here all the way till 2028?
I don't think he'll make it that long, but I think the regime, whatever happens with the regime,
Mm.
because it's not just him.
No, yes, yes,
It's
it's
not
true.
just him.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing into the mid-30s cleaning up.
Oh,
That's what I feel, at
oh,
least right this moment.
oh wow.
And nobody wants to hear that. And
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't either.
No,
I
no,
don't either.
that's your hit
No.
though. You
Yeah.
have to honor it. You have to
Yeah.
honor your hit. So
Yeah.
you're saying we really won't snip this completely and be severed from
Gonna
this
take a lot of
energy till
cleanup.
2030. And you know what? That's interesting because 2030 would be the midterms after the
True.
2028 election.
True.
So that would
Mhm.
be if they don't win the presidential election in 2028, which is so you we
Mhm.
can foreshadow a little bit with your hit. They would try one more time at the midterms, and if they wouldn't, they would really have to pack it in and let go.
I agree with some of the people that were saying there's not going to be one certain person that's going to be in charge. It's going to be a group, at least at the
Okay,
beginning.
like to clean up.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
cleanup crew.
yeah.
And I actually like that because I don't think one person having all the power. You're a well-educated woman, and I don't know if you've read, oh,
Is it Jane?
Oedipus Rex. Have you read
And
Oedipus Rex?
no,
No.
oh, yeah, parts of it, not all of it.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's all about hubris and pride
Yes, yes, yes. He's
and
the one who he killed his father and married his mother?
yes, that was done. He didn't know he did that because
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
because
an
he didn't
orphan.
know, he was like,
But
yes,
at
yes,
the
yes,
end, when he becomes the leader and
yes.
he doesn't even trust his brother-in-law. He doesn't
Yeah,
trust his.
it's all
There's no
redeeming.
trust, and I
Yeah.
see that here. It's an old story that's playing out
You
over and
know,
over again.
you're bringing this up again. I have to tell you, I had this epiphany last night. I was
Mhm.
rereading passages of the Tower of Babel from Genesis, I think 11:9, and
Okay.
I actually had to read the Bible in school, in public school, but not like they're trying to indoctrinate me to Christianity.
Right,
It's
right.
just
As a
the
piece of
Bible is
literature.
it's
Yeah,
referenced in literature a lot, so I had to
right.
spend a summer reading it, and in Genesis 11:9, they talk about the Tower of Babel, and I had to Google it. It was written 2,500 years ago. But the
Mhm.
Tower of Babel was a bunch of people were together, they were connected, they were trying to, be higher than God in that sense. And then, God struck them down and gave them different languages. So they would be, and that's just basically the old, parable of divide and conquer. And so
Right.
I think it's just so interesting. We have all these stories and we're still struggling with the same issues of
All we have to
divide.
do, but nobody reads Ness, and you know that. No. I'm not saying the people here don't, but younger
No, but
people,
it's like we're
yeah,
dealing with the same lessons for
yeah,
thousands of years.
thousands of years.
It's
And at the
like
same time that you're talking about the Tower of Babel
yeah,
written that far along,
yeah.
we had Gilgamesh, and Gilgamesh was, written on stone tablets, and it was all about um, uh, lower man, higher man,
The
and it
hierarchy.
was also all about finding the fountain of youth. And it's a long
You
journey.
know, that makes sense. In hierarchical cultures, in cultures that are transactional, in cultures that are not rooted in belonging and mutual
Mhm.
reciprocity and care, what you offer is your value. And so if you end up not being as young or etc., then of course you're going to the quest of it. And so it's an interesting thing of there's a famous book. Let me see if I have it. Sapiens. It was very trendy in 2018,
Oh,
2019. But it was basically this historian who looked at like chronicled human civilization for a very long time of trends we did before we were nomadic and then we were agrarian and
okay.
kind of different trends and
Uh-huh.
it's just really interesting of the issues that we're still facing in terms of I'm going back to the same thought of whether or not we're really improving or we're still dealing with the same and they talk about
Yeah,
hierarchy and how people and
yeah.
how we used to be more
We don't ever learn. But
yeah.
there's a book out there also called The Fourth Turning that my
Oh,
husband has read, and it talks about it predicted all this stuff.
fourth
That
turning.
these things come in different
Yeah,
turning things.
yeah, it's
Um,
cyclical, it's all
it is
cyclical. Yeah,
cyclical. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely cyclical. So
Wow.
awesome.
Oh, I'm seeing it right now, the unraveling, and then
Hmm.
we move into the crisis.
Hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. But
We're in
I
the
also
middle of that.
uh, I also feel in my heart of hearts we are waking up. I
Uh-huh.
do feel
I agree.
people are waking up to the oligarchs. I do feel people are waking up to even in your own life of like where are you leaking your own power? Where are you leaking
Mhm.
your own energy? And even this war with like Iran, which is just like no clear reason why we're there. No clear reason of like why we're still there.
Yeah.
It's really opening up where power is. I think even
Mhm.
this weekend when we saw the GOP hawkish reply to Trump's proposal, it was like, oh, you're on Team Israel. I can see it now. Oh, you're on Team Israel, and oh,
Yes,
you're on Team.
absolutely. You can tell who is APAC. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it was like, oh, it's Ted Cruz. Oh, it's Mike Pompeo.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I know and there's all these underlying underpinnings that we all don't know about, things that have gone on and on.
yeah,
Um, anyway, you're telling me also that when we were setting this up, that there was
yeah.
some energies that you wanted to talk about, or some things that were coming up this week, or I know we have the full moon, don't we, this week
We
later?
do. We have the full moon. Let me get into that. Let me
Sure, of
share
course.
this. Yeah, let me help prepare everyone for this full moon.
Yeah,
And so, folks, if you're newer to astrology, and you want to like orient yourself or look how to work with astrology to forecast for yourself, a great place to start is looking at the new moon and full moons
yeah,
and looking at them to understand what is happening ahead of you. And so you can see, oh, this new moon is happening in my money house, or oh, this full moon is happening in my health house. You can start to understand what gets activated for you. And new moon, full moons, they're release valves. They're release valves
right.
of energy that you're dealing with. And I often say new moons are new beginnings. This is very much analogous to going to the grocery store and say, "Oh, I am the one that eats, protein potato chips," or "I am the one that will have green juice."
Uh-huh.
It's more about choosing the new you. That's a new moon. I
Right.
am a person that wears a red leather jacket. I am the person that will start to, when you pull out gym clothes, like I am the one that's gonna start, Zumbaing. It's choosing the new you. That is a new moon. A
Okay.
full moon is about releasing.
Releasing.
It's about letting
Yeah.
go so the new you can be emerged. This is you going into your closets and saying, I'm not the person that wears these striped clothes anymore. I'm not. This is you going to your fridge and saying, I don't want to eat. I don't want to have Oreos in my pantry anymore. I don't want to have processed. This is you shedding the old you so the new you can be there. But they have a different focus. One is
Yeah.
adding the new you. One
Right.
is letting
Is
go so the new
of the
you
old
can
you.
take place. It kind of looks counterintuitive. And full moons are often activating energy. You're going to feel more irritated. You're going to feel
Mhm.
more I don't know,
Well, people
frustrated
go
because
crazy under the full moon. Some
yes,
people
people
do.
do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
I don't Are you
Mhm.
someone that's sensitive to full moons? Like, can you feel
Not
them when they come?
necessarily, but
Okay.
I
Okay.
have to tell you that I just was telling the people what I've been doing, and I've been doing what Rossi told me was called Swedish death cleaning,
Oh,
and
yes.
I've
Yes.
been doing it, and I have a dumpster here,
Yeah.
and I'm getting an incinerator here, and it's arriving. It's just like a garbage
Yeah,
incinerator,
yeah.
but it's arriving on the 26th. So that's tomorrow, actually, isn't it? Or well, anyway, this week,
Yeah.
right before the full moon, and I'm taking about 250 old journals. Bye, gone,
Oh, those are your
and
journals.
my journals. And
Wow.
I have just brought probably 30, 40 bags of crap to Goodwill. I have
Okay.
this dumpster out there. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Goodbye. Yep, yep. That's the
And
energy.
I also had a room in the back of the house. And this lady who was familiar with feng shui told me 2 months ago, there's no energy circulating in there because you bought that was full of boxes, just
Yeah,
everywhere. No room.
yeah.
So that's in my area of abundance.
Yep, yep. Very good.
You can
Very,
see
very
that
good.
between the new moon and the full moon, this is
Yeah.
what I've been doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is great, and
Uh-uh,
especially if I can look at your chart too, and I can
uh-huh.
see in particular, how I can prepare you in particular for the full moon. But let
Yeah.
me share for everyone just
Oh, yeah,
this
I want everyone to
particular,
get what they
moon.
need. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
what they need, how to work with it, and let me share. So, for
yeah,
those who
I'll just
follow me,
mhm.
are you able to see
There you
this?
go.
Like, is it sharing?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, good, good. So, folks, we still have a couple days left of May, and I also predicted some potential announcement. Something might happen in the next 2 days, so we'll see in terms of the war front and what will happen
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
But this is the 25th. This is the 26th. It's hard to see because this is like right on top of it. Let me move it over a little bit.
He's also back at Walter Reed today, by the way.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Yes.
interesting. Yeah, so this lunar event is actually not that bad for Trump. He's actually
Okay.
had 8 lunar events in a row that were very difficult.
Uh-huh.
And this is the first reprieve, but that doesn't necessarily mean like, he's out of the woods for
Right.
helping.
No, I
Also
get it. Yeah.
it might
Yeah.
mean he might actually exit.
Mhm.
So there's a full moon in Sagittarius that's coming up. Let me jump over here to it. Yes. So full moons are about, things coming to surface. That's why things will be agitated because it wants to be revealed because the universe wants you to let it go. It's going to bring up maybe replay past conflicts, past things because it wants you to be aware of it. So it doesn't feel comfortable quite at first, but then it wants to be released. It wants you to
Mhm.
resolve it, treat it, let it go. So you're not carrying this debt anymore. That's kind of
Mhm.
the vibe of the full moon. This particular full moon, it's in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about seeking truth, expanding your mind. It is about just cleaning up your life. So you're really just clean. You're living clean, very much like
Mhm.
the Swedish death cleaning, actually.
Yeah, intuitively must have just known this was the time to do it.
This is
But
very
yeah.
yeah, I love
Uh-huh.
that. Very, very apropos.
Mhm.
And so if you have anything at 9 degrees 55 minutes at Sagittarius, just look at your chart. You also
Mhm.
want to see if you have anything at 9 degrees 55 minutes Gemini. That will also be activated. And I can also talk about the squares and the trines and etc. But I'll just say the
Yeah.
conjunctions and oppositions will feel it. And the actions to take for a full moon is speaking your truth, releasing things. So say the thing that has not been said. If there's something that you're in denial about or you're quite not ready to face, write it down, start to explore it.
Mhm.
Also, zoom out and see the larger perspective. If you're in an issue, zoom out and say, what would my self 2 years later think about this
Mhm.
issue? What
Ah,
would
okay.
myself outside of time think about this issue? What would Jesus think about this issue? What would you could think about other people too, like
Yeah.
what would Steve Jobs think about this issue? What would Margaret Thatcher, people that might have more of that macro view in
Okay.
different ways,
Yeah.
and look at that. Also, this is a good time to think about where you need to learn new things, like what
Mhm.
topic areas, where are your gaps, and then also letting go of old beliefs. There's something about, especially
Yep.
other people's beliefs. There could be something about what your church told you, what your family told you. There's something about other
Yeah.
people's information that you can also start to let
Perfect.
go.
I love
And
that.
the kernel behind all of this is just freedom, is
Yeah.
just individual freedom, choosing truth and being also comfortable that the truth is enough, that your truth, clarity
Mhm.
of truth, and pursuing truth is enough, even though it might not feel good or might be a work in progress. There's something about that that's going to be very, very, very important.
And not I would say that, that comes with non-judgment as well,
Yeah.
because our truth may differ day to day, but some of us hang on to our truth for a lot longer, and we don't need to be judgy about the fact that we should have let it go years ago. So there's no
Yes, that's also
regretting.
true
Yeah,
too. That's
yeah,
the real grace you can give
yeah.
yourself of
Uh-huh.
not only as you're improving and as you're trying to evolve is, be gentle and kind with yourself of why you
Right.
do certain things and
Correct.
not
Yeah.
because otherwise that's going to stop you from evolving because you'll be
Evolve.
judging yourself. Like, it's a
Yeah.
whole thing.
And I'm hearing more and more this past 2 weeks that people are starting to be more clairaudient. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're hearing things outside of their heads, but they're hearing their guides in
Yeah.
their minds at least.
And a full moon in Sag would help with that. A full moon in Sag would very much
Oh,
facilitate.
wonderful.
Yeah, this is a great time to do automatic writing. If you're a
Mhm.
channeler, if you're a meditator, however you have, if it's more clairaudient,
Yep.
being writing words, information, more of that crystally kind of vibration is
Yeah.
is more activated in Sag. I mean, Sag is a fire sign, but it's part of the information axes. So it's
Sure.
going to
Sure. Well, that
be
makes sense.
more
I've had
important.
4 Akashic Records readings booked the last 2 days.
Oh,
So
wow. Yep.
people are ready for their
Yes.
news,
You
I
know,
guess.
I've noticed across the board, I mod on a couple channels, Viviana does as well with me, and,
Mhm.
I'm noticing a lot of people are seeking spiritual guidance right now.
Mhm.
It's like a
Mhm.
surge. You know, the astrology for June is very positive. I'll share a little bit about that soon.
Okay.
But I can feel people feeling this apex kind of energy with May, like, something sort of coming to a head. And so, yeah, that's very, very interesting of people, needing help and support. I just want to say one thing to Hypnicity. So
Mhm.
she had a lot of stuff in Cancer. So,
Yeah.
Hypnicity, you had a big expansion with Jupiter in Cancer since June of last year. But this season, this Cancer season, you're going to have obviously Venus and Jupiter. Actually, Venus has already moved into Cancer right now, but the two benefics, are in Cancer. And so just notice about a week ago and for the next 2.5 weeks, there's going to be a lot of expansion into your identity of who you are as a person. So just allow that. Don't force yourself into a box. Don't force yourself into the past version of you. You're
Mm.
right now in an expansion period. So just notice what comes up and allow it. You don't have to understand it. Just allow the unfolding. It's like you're a flower and the petals are starting to open up in a new
Mhm.
way.
The lotus.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's very powerful time. You're
Mhm.
kind of having a personality, soul, energetic upgrade right now. It's Hypnicity.
That's
So
why
just
you're unsettled. That's
yeah,
exactly why.
yes. It
Yeah.
can feel just when we have a really big astrological event, it's easier to be in the awareness mode, and then
Mhm.
when we start to integrate it, it will feel much, much better. So I just wanna give that to Hymnicity. But let me talk a little bit about Trumps. So this is a
Okay.
full moon for all of us. It has some tension points, but overall very positive, I would say, in terms of, there's some obviously Mars square Pluto's a bit intense, but, overall, it's kind of like breakthrough energy. It is kind of
Mm.
apex breakthrough energy. But for Trump, it's not too bad. He does have Mars square his Pluto, which is not, we're all feeling it too right
Uh-huh.
now. So he's going to feel it a little bit later. It's like he's going to have a delayed effect. What we will feel collectively this week, he will
Mhm.
start to feel a couple days later, which could be, the Iranian deal or something else.
Mhm.
Um, but otherwise, it's got some nice, the sun is actually sextiling his Pluto, moon is trining his Pluto. Pluto's also so it's something like it's nice, but it also is intense in terms of his
Uh-huh.
potential energy. And then let me share your is it okay, Allie, if I share your
Of
full
course, it's
moon?
fine. Sure,
Okay,
of course.
let me
Yeah.
load that. Let
Okay.
me remove this from the stage. And then let me share this.
Okay.
Let me load it. Calendar reading. Where is Allie? Allie. There you go. Oh, you're a Capricorn rising.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Nope, I still got Trump here. All right. No, I don't see it. Maybe try it up, present it on another one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me
there
try
you
it
go.
again.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Capricorn rising and Pisces moon.
Oh, very, very good. I'm a Cap moon,
Mhm.
Cancer sun.
Ooh,
And then what's your sun? If you're a Cap
Libra.
rising, a Libra.
Libra.
Oh, interesting. You
Yeah.
and I have very similar astrology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have a water sign, earth sign, air sign. So,
Uh-huh.
and you and I both have Libra Capricorn. So,
Yeah, just
okay.
different, right?
Just different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so let's look at this for you. So for you, Allie, this is in your 12th
Mm,
house. Oh, it's spiritual. It's very
makes
subliminal.
sense. Yeah.
It could be okay. So this full moon in Sagittarius is illuminating truths, endings, unconscious beliefs, but it's also having you kind of connect with God, you connect with source.
Yep.
There's some sort of recalibration there
Yep.
and limiting any beliefs or denial. So this is kind of like your subconscious is upgrading so you can be more mentally harmonious. So there's a
Mhm.
big focus of mental health right now.
Yes.
But also spiritual health. There's something
Uh-huh.
about feeling more right with the energies, sleeping better. There's a big focus for
Oh,
that
I
for
hope
you.
so, because it's been awful. Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
full moons
you
are
know who
really
else is very similar to me is Rossi. She has Libra Sun, Capricorn rising, but she happens to have a
Oh.
Taurus moon. That's the
Okay,
difference. But
so if
anyway,
she for
yeah.
anyone who's a Capricorn rising, what I'm saying
Mhm.
to Allie would apply to you. So
Okay.
just keep that in
Okay.
mind. Oh yeah, Rossi. Yeah, there
Mhm.
you go. So Rossi, what I just said about mental health is actually a focus for you as
For you as
well.
well. Mm.
So very, very powerful. And let me just look real quick, Allie, to see where this is
Yeah.
happening at your 12th house. Your North Node is here. So this is your
Oh.
life purpose, what you're here to
Mhm.
do. So you're getting a clarity about what you're here to do
Oh, I
with
am.
this, which is very much Swedish death cleaning too. You're very
Well, I also was challenged by the idea that this sounds really weird, but I'm 70, I'll be 71 this year.
Mhm.
And I don't know how long, much longer I'm going to live. And I don't know if I'll have enough money to do that. So
Okay.
I was like having this existential crisis. And then I thought,
Mhm.
who the hell cares?
Mm.
I could have died at 30. I could
Yeah,
die at 100. I'm not going to
yeah,
sit here and worry about it. And it's not death, the physical death. I'm not afraid of that. It's
yeah.
just the planning. I'm a planner.
Yeah,
So
well, it's a Capricorn side.
it
Capricorns are all
is.
about the
It is.
plan, the
Yes.
structure. And actually, I just noticed, Allie, look, this is it's gonna happen right here at 9 degrees.
Oh,
And look what
okay.
happens where it's squaring. It's actually squaring your moon.
Oh, well, that
So
makes
any
sense.
lunar event that has to do with your moon, you are going to
Mhm.
feel it. It's
Yeah.
actually in your third house of communication, your truths, your beliefs.
Mhm.
So it's interesting because traditionally Sagittarius is the ninth house, but it's being activated here with your natal moon. So
Uh-huh.
there's something about what is true for you that is being
Ah,
cleared for you.
okay.
What are the truths that you believe versus what
Mhm.
other people have told you?
Yep.
This is
So
like
that's
saying
yeah.
like,
Yep.
it
Oh
would
my
be
God.
like you saying, "I think it's my truth would be it's important for me not to eat dairy." You know, like dairy is maybe
Yeah.
not healthy,
Yep.
or you
Yeah.
deciding like, "I don't think people should have alcohol." Like, there's something about what is true for you
Mhm.
is coming to a head, and really
And
important.
one of those things is I had to release the idea. My parents spent their life saying my father was going to be dead before 40. He was
Yeah.
75 when he died. But it's that message that old people can't do what young people can do.
Oh,
And
yes, yes,
And
yes.
I don't want that message.
That is
I may not remember everything the way that I have in the
no,
past,
no, yeah.
but I don't wanna be old. So,
No, our culture is really very youth focused and
yeah,
very and really
yeah.
kind of creates this black box of what will happen when you reach these certain age
For certain
milestones.
ages.
Yeah, and
Yes.
you're like, "Oh my gosh," like even my age, I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, I thought it would look different." I remember when I
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
30 and I was so upset. Like, "Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, my life is
Right.
what a stupid waste of time that all
It is a
was."
waste of time. You're right.
It
Yeah.
was, but and it's interesting. So I remember there was a stat of most people go to grad school like in their early 20s or mid 20s, and then
Mhm.
there's a surge again in their 40s. But
I went in my
basically,
40s both
yeah.
times.
Oh,
Yeah.
you okay, there you go. But there's a
Mhm.
surge where people in their late 20s and 30s often think that it's too late,
I
that they
know.
can't go back. And it's like, no, you can totally like,
Oh,
but but
that's the message. That's the
yeah.
societal message, and we have to let it go.
And,
Absolutely.
there's
Mhm.
another trend too. It's called, and folks, I don't know if you're aware of this. This is an actual trend in and like market trends and customer
Mhm.
trends and et cetera. It's something that women experience in their
Mhm.
50s and 60s, and it's
Mhm.
called the second renaissance. And women
Ooh,
in their 50s and
okay.
60s are the highest, percentage of small business owners. They're the highest percentage of starting businesses in their
Mhm.
50s and 60s than any other age group. There are more women, and you look at the overall demographic, starting businesses in their 50s and 60s than young men in their 20s. And it's called the second renaissance, and often they attribute it to like the kids are going, they go off to school, and then
Yeah.
the women realize they're not happy in their marriage, and they have this renaissance. They start to do new things and pursue new goals. And very much, yeah,
And
exactly.
that's
They
when
just
I opened my YouTube channel. I was 65.
There you
Yeah,
go. There you
yeah,
go. It's they
yeah,
feel
makes
the
sense.
impetus to kind of just go for it. Where
Mhm.
often I think men in that age, I think they either retire and often they have heart attacks within 4 years of
They do,
retiring.
they do.
But the women actually have a whole other experience. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
That's a great story
yeah,
about the woman that was 70, finished medical school. I
very
remember
good.
having a student that was 65 in one of my classes and was going to be a nurse.
Oh, wow, I love that. I
I
love
know,
that.
I know.
Love that.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
I've had clients in their mid-90s,
Oh, I
and
bet.
they're
Yeah.
like yeah,
What
and
am I
they're
gonna do next? Yeah.
yeah, they're, like, writing books,
Yes.
and they're
Yeah.
they're,
Mhm.
like, starting projects, and even some I have this one client, she was 93, and she was writing 2 books, and one she was more involved in, and someone else was helping her write the other, and so,
Uh-huh. Beautiful.
yeah, it was just so,
Uh,
I think there's just it's a catch-22.
it
It's
is.
unfortunate we have this black box about what happens when we reach a certain age. It's kind
I
of
know.
but then the positive side of it is we get to really choose our own adventure. We really get
Mhm.
to create our own path. We can say, "It's okay if you don't understand it. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go for it." And you can surprise people, but also other people can surprise you, like, the woman who's going to
Mhm.
medical school. I
Yes.
think that's great. That's just
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
If she can do it,
the
why
other
can't you? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the other degree
Mhm.
I've always wondered, I don't think I actually need it, but I always just wanted was an MBA. That
Okay.
would be the other thing that I would want to, pursue, but I
That's
don't
the
need it.
Capricorn.
I don't
That's
need
the
it.
Capricorn. Yeah, for me, it was, it was the liberal arts degree, which was me finding a way to do my spiritual work legitimately in society,
Mhm, mhm.
because everything that's in liberal arts pretty much ties back to spirituality in
Yeah,
some way. It
it
really
does.
does.
It's the
Literature
human
too. Yeah.
condition. What are
Yeah.
we moving towards?
Correct.
Commentary about the human condition. Yes, yes,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. I do, and I wanna say peace, please, for feeling very inspired. I wanna just say our culture doesn't wanna acknowledge how powerful we are as manifestors, how much our thoughts create our reality, our intentions, and also we can just start wherever you are, you can just start. Like a
Mhm.
famous guy, not Dr. Oz. Who's the therapist that was part of Oprah and he had his own show? Phil McGraw?
Oh, Phil. Yeah.
Dr. Phil. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but I
No.
like the quote he had said, which is like, "What's worse than like 100 days of unhappiness? 100 days, 101." And
Uh,
so it's like,
right.
just start. If you wanna write a book, write
Yeah.
it. Actually, a lot of my clients are writing books. It's still I think it's the
Mhm.
Uranus and Gemini. A lot of folks
Mhm.
are writing. If you want to start your own business, if you wanna join us on YouTube, join
Mhm.
us. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, I love that. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind being
Yeah.
in my 60s or 70s and finish my because it
Yeah.
doesn't feel I don't need it, but I want it. It's kind of one
Yeah,
of
it's
those
more for enjoyment, but
Mhm.
also edification, keeping your brain going, and also providing you with a new idea of how to do business work, so
Yeah,
makes
just
yeah,
like, "Oh, maybe this is
yeah.
what I've been doing the whole time, and I didn't realize."
Correct, and then
Yeah,
you can
like,
go,
I
"Oh,
can
gee, I knew that intuitively."
yeah, it's kinda you just don't know until you, reach
Yeah,
there. I'm
yeah.
curious, Ali, what were some of the topics that you were, curious about learning? I'm talking about business school, but, like, what were you curious about learning in, like, kind of the other seasons of life than when you started? Like, in terms of
So I was always curious about literature and books because that was
Mhm.
my big move when I was and education. I always wanted to teach, always.
Yeah, yeah.
But really wanted to teach things that are like more metaphysical, which I can do now.
Yes,
Fortunately,
yes,
I'm
very
doing
much
that
so.
now. But as it grew, it was the tie-in with philosophy and history and
Mm,
all those trends we talked about earlier about how if we look back at things,
yes,
we can see they've happened before, they'll
the
happen
cyclical,
again.
yeah,
And but I also loved tying in the music and the
yeah.
drama, and it was always all about creativity, I
Yeah.
think.
Very
Yeah,
humanities based,
yeah,
very
very much, very
see,
much.
they always say, like, the red thread. It's like the red
Yes,
thread that kind of
very much so.
connects
Yep,
all of that. Very,
yep,
very interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
I did my undergrad at Berkeley. You would have loved it was
Oh,
very
yeah, yeah.
Very interdisciplinary, and we had to learn
Mhm.
a lot of philosophical concepts while you were still learning
Oh,
civil
absolutely.
engineering or
And I
yeah,
love that classical education.
yeah,
People
very
poo-poo
classical.
it saying, "Oh, you want fries with that?" No, I've managed to find a really good resolution
Yeah.
for having a liberal arts degree,
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly, a
Yeah.
liberal arts
Mhm.
degree. Yes, it's
Yeah.
very but it's also, that going back to that Tower of Babel,
Mhm.
example, sometimes the powers that be or, forces that benefit, they don't want us to kind of compare notes and
Mm,
speak the same language because it doesn't,
mhm.
benefit them, but also they don't want us to really know history,
No.
exactly to your
Yeah.
point, because if we know history, we would know we've been here before. We've done this again.
And that's why
Um,
they're trying to whitewash it here,
yeah,
by
like the
by
history
take
books.
they're
Yeah.
just taking stuff and dismantling it because they don't want our younger people to see what we've done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the worst thing you can do because that's you need to know what was done and why it was done. Why do we
Yeah.
wanna go back and do it again? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
we don't want
yeah,
to.
yeah.
I'm rewatching the Avenger films. They were film
Okay.
series that like
Yeah.
20 and it's interesting, I don't know if you're aware of it, but the superhero era of Iron Man and Hulk and etcetera was actually a psychological response or a cultural response to the war
Uh-huh.
with Afghanistan, the war with, the sense of
Mhm.
helplessness from 9/11 and etcetera. And so, but when I'm watching these films, they often, give these innuendo of, like oppressed, oppressors, like
Yep,
very much like,
yep.
Nazi dialogue that we saw in World War II. And even when you watch Star
And
Wars,
the films were like that then.
yeah,
That's
the
what's interesting. They
stormtroopers,
were.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
They use metaphors to and so when we've been fed these metaphors, even, Indiana Jones, like, they even show that, they if we've been fed this metaphor of keeping everyone safe and the oppressed,
Yeah.
it's really interesting how they think we would be at this, intersection of, not making that decision now, like the younger folks who, care about Gaza or,
Yeah.
we
Yep.
care we don't wanna steal Venezuela's oil, like, why would
No,
I don't
thank you. That's correct.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. We all have a right to exist on this planet,
yeah,
and we don't need to take and hoard whatever it is that we
oh,
think we want like we're the most important, and I don't care what country you're from. I
yeah,
think that's the truth of all.
yeah,
But yeah, yeah.
yeah, very
Mhm.
much. Let me
Mhm.
read what Annie wrote. Annie wrote can I click on it? So if I do this, will it let me
I
click?
don't know if it will work. Where
Okay,
is
okay, no, where Annie
oh,
wrote at 11:41, "I took some
okay.
legal classes in my late 30s, and
Mhm.
then I went to take some classes and decided what to do in my 40s, and then health and fitness, and then I got my AA degree before I moved to Spokane, and at 50 in Spokane, I'm a fitness trainer." Oh, I love that. It's
And
interesting,
you
there's a
know
lot of
what?
s
I
yeah,
had
go
a
ahead.
hard time deciding too, Anita. And so what you've done is you've taken the things that really interest you, bring you into the interdisciplinary. And when I was in college, the interdisciplinary degree was first started in the 70s. And I
Mhm.
said, that's me. That is me. Oh my
Mhm.
God. Because we were just told, oh, you can be a teacher, you can be a nurse. No, I didn't want to do that. So my undergrad, I changed my major to interdisciplinary degree, and everybody flipped out in my family. No, 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 you don't need it. It is what we are. We are
Yeah.
not one
No, we're
thing.
not one thing, no.
No, I
But the
really,
society and our employers want us to be one thing,
yeah,
so,
yeah,
yeah, it's very,
absolutely.
very oh, I just read Rossi's comment, a lot of
I
Gen
know.
Z alpha yeah, it's interesting, I grew up reading a lot, I still read a lot, I do
Mhm.
Audible as well, I love it's one of my favorite things
Did
to
your
do.
parents read?
No, it's
Oh,
interesting, no,
okay,
I didn't have parents that, they were
okay,
busy, with life and in their own struggles,
right.
but I was just someone that if you gave her a book, like Boxcar
I love
Children,
that. Yeah.
on a Friday, she would be done by Saturday morning, like,
Yes,
I would
that was
just
Nancy Drew for me. Yeah,
yeah,
but
Nancy
my
Drew, yeah.
parents modeled reading, and when I have students in reading classes that can't read at the 4th grade level,
Mhm.
I say to them, "Your parents your parents either were readers, if you'd
Mhm.
like to read, or they appreciated reading or gave you books," or my kids
Sometimes like that,
my
yeah.
kids would do that. Yeah, Yeah.
You know, I would say I can understand that contextually. I would
Yeah.
say I'm a bit of an outlier. I
Yeah.
just love
And there
books.
are.
Yeah,
Yep.
because
I get it.
my sibling, yes, did not was not as drawn to me, but I
Not
would
as
I
fun.
get
Yeah.
lost in books. Like
Yeah. I
you
used
leave
to
me in a
say to my
corner.
kids, I'm going to the bookstore. Oh, we're going to the bookstore.
Yes.
And, I buy them books. They'd read
Yes.
the books.
Yes.
And now my daughter still goes to Independent Bookstore Day. She's 49 years old and
I love it.
she reads 150 books a year.
Yes, yes, very,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, even when I used to travel a lot for work, I had a job that would send me everywhere to do projects. And one of my favorite things to do as a tourist was to go to the city's bookstore and
Uh-huh.
walk in to that
Yeah.
table and just like go, okay, this is what this city thinks about, or this is the top
Yes.
of
You
mind
can
topic.
read it. You can read
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was like, I would love someone to make a coffee table book about this. Like, just a snapshot of all the
How about
bookstores,
you?
first table. So,
You need to make it. You
yeah,
need
I
to
need
make
there you go. I'll need to make
it.
I need to someone needs to
Yeah.
send me everywhere at once so I can do that. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
have them all submit it. Just take a photo,
Uh,
submit it, and we'll all share.
that's
But
awesome.
yeah, no, it's quite an experience.
Uh,
I'm still deciding what I wanna do when I grow up
that's
too.
okay. That's okay.
Very
I love the ability to riff on topics that come up or what
Yeah.
people believe in. It just
It
seems to flow much better than
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I appreciate the work you've done here as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. And let me just let me close the loop on this. So folks, this is a calendar tool that I've created. It gives you an astrological
Amazing.
overview for
Mhm.
each month. And in addition to it, it actually gives you guidance on how to work with those full moon, new moon energies. It gives you
Yeah.
a vibe. Not I'm not going to retire this product. I'm going to continue to um, build it and
It's
add a month. So
wonderful.
every time you
Yeah.
purchase it, you'll always get 12 months. And there's a
Yeah.
whole set of tutorial videos that are planned. So if you're someone that wants to learn astrology, this is a really gentle on ramp to learn astrology by learning your astrology, by learning
Mhm.
what's happening for you. So if you are someone that does not want to learn astrology, you just want to, book a session and have someone read for you, this is not the tool for you. I just want to say
Right, right,
there
right.
is like some assembly is required to kind of make sense of it, but this is an amazing way to start to learn
Yep.
it, but not learn it just through the storytelling aspect. Learn it where you can immediately apply it. You can
Make
immediately start to,
plans.
yeah,
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
plans from it. So
Mhm.
let me
Yeah.
stop sharing that one so I can kind of
Yeah.
go back
That's
to it.
awful.
Yeah, I've noticed life cycles too. I've noticed I have about like a 10-year life cycle. Folks
Okay.
have different life cycles. They might have a 7-year life cycle, a 9. So every 10 years my life resets.
Okay.
And I always change careers every 10 years. And so yeah,
Oh,
it's very interesting. It's like,
I've
oh,
done the same thing in a lot of
yeah.
you wouldn't believe the careers I've had. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
it's so interesting,
it's
and they don't
amazing.
talk about that. I mean, I know
No,
about it
they
in
don't.
numerology, but,
Yeah,
they don't
yep.
talk about it with,
I mean, I started out, in banking, mortgage lending,
wow,
taxes, and I'm a
wow,
terrible math person, but it was all computerized. A lot of the
okay,
stuff was
okay.
computerized. And then, I went then at 45 decided I wanted to be a professor. I didn't want to just be a teacher. I wanted to be a professor. And
Yeah,
so that's why I got the master's degree. And everyone said, well, you won't get a full-time job. Well, I never have. But
yeah, yeah,
I teach at 4 different colleges at the same time. So that's
wow.
more than full-time.
That's
Yeah.
more than full-time, and that
Mhm.
also might be more your vibe too, like, if you
It
just wanna
is.
go a little bit here and you can
A little bit here, a
control
little
your
bit there,
schedule.
different types of classes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
very,
Through that.
very cool. What did okay, let me see what she wrote.
I love that. Hop on Pop, Barbara Hartlove. Mine
Oh,
like the one about the dogs in the tree with the oh my God, Dr. Seuss. What was that one? Go Dog Go. Mine was Go Dog Go. Yeah.
one thing too, and I think you and I both share this, is when life is kind of goes out of your control, you can still learn something. You can
Of
still read a
course.
book, you can still expand
Mhm.
your mind, and no one can take that away from you. No one can take away your knowledge, your expertise, and
Right.
so I'm a big believer in investing in yourself, and it's good that astrology helps people understand. Yes, yes, it's
Yes.
a good way to help
Darn
people
it, it
understand
is. It's
astrology.
really good. Yeah.
And, I can, get really, emotionally overwhelmed when I think about we're all here living our own experiences, but we're given tools by the divine in terms of being able to connect, whether it's astrology, whether it's tarot, whether it's, dowsing rods or hits or, meditating with trees. Like, we're
Yeah.
not as untethered. We're not as like alone in terms of how we move through life. And so
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
quite beautiful that we do have these tools. Yeah,
Well,
Reiki.
also adding to the toolbox, so Peace said she'd like to take Reiki. I know I took Reiki 1. I'm not interested in being that Reiki master, but
Mhm.
that it helped my gifts. It
Yes.
it added to the gifting. It really did. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
The cumulativeness, like
Yeah,
you might have you're in some weird ways, your banking experience, your tax experience did actually help you here. Like, it doesn't
correct.
feel like directly linear, but it
Right.
did help you with.
Oh, yeah, every experience
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
something that was needed. Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Let me just catch up on the comments.
Anita, you don't have to memorize things in Reiki unless you get to be a Reiki master with some of the symbols, but you
Mhm.
don't have to in the earlier ones. Sarah from um, Hibiscus Healing, she offers a Reiki class at a reasonable price if you're interested. So,
Mhm.
and
Oh, I
Ness,
love.
I want to make sure that they can get a hold of you if anybody's interested in
Oh,
whether.
yes, yes. Let me,
Yeah.
let me share this. I just have this.
Oh,
Oops. Let me share this little screen.
okay.
June, and I'll actually talk a little bit about June too for folks who want to.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
I'll put it in the if you're watching on the replay, there will be stuff in the description for you
Okay.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, for you to get a hold of me. If you're
Mhm.
not watching on the replay, if you're watching live, I don't have a YouTube channel, but I do have a newsletter. I have a
Mhm.
really precious newsletter that I spend about 2 days creating. It really frames the month ahead, how to work with it, what to prepare for, and it's just really efficient in terms of all the possible directions it can go. And so if you pull out your phone and you scan this, you can add yourself to my newsletter,
Mhm.
and just be in the loop there.
Mhm.
I do have 2 offerings I want to point out. One, I've just now offered a single question reading. So this is if you just have a question like, how does the next month look for me? Because I'm about to,
Or
I'm
I have to have
interviewing,
an operation. When is the
I'm
best
having an
time?
operation, or
Yeah.
I'm just curious, I'm about to travel next month. What do you
Yeah.
see?
Yep.
You're able to do that. I'm able to send you the recording within about 2 or 3 days. And so this is
Good.
great in a pinch. And then I'm
Yep.
also teaching a class, Allie. I'm actually
Okay.
teaching a manifestation class on 6/6, which is
Okay.
2 days before a really positive astrological event, and this class really models my 3D experience, my
Mhm.
3D kind of science background with the woo-woo. So I approach it from,
Yeah.
like, neuroscience, quantum
Excellent.
physics, metaphysical, and then just the woo-ness that I've
And
had.
I have to say that right now we're manifesting in real time. I'm seeing it over and over and over. So everybody be clear.
Yeah, be
No,
very
no bad
clear.
news
Yes.
up here.
The
Yeah.
energies are quite high right
They
now.
are.
Yes, there, and June too. There's a lot of
Okay.
powerful manifesting energies, in June. Let me go over here to June, though. Let me go there. So for folks that are, looking at the June energies, I can do astrocartography, but I'm not really interested in it. It's not something
Really? Oh, it's
I
fascinating to
it's
me.
very I can
Yeah.
understand it, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm personally just not drawn to
I
it.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm more interested in other things. So I can do it, but I feel like someone else is more suited who really loves it and really gets into the nitty-gritty details. So I don't really book sessions for that.
Okay.
But when it comes to June's energies, it's the best month all year, which is kind of
Oh,
hard to think of because the economy and the war and etc. But if my astrological predictions are correct, we will potentially be out of the war by June. And
wow.
if we are out, the markets would respond. So I want to give an invitation for everyone when it comes to June and sweetness comes to you, the sweetness of a friend inviting you to lunch, or the invitation to order a chocolate cake or whatever.
Mhm.
Take up that offer of the sweetness. I want you to step into sweetness. I don't want you to step into sweetness and feel like, "Oh, the other shoe will drop." No, no. When the sweetness comes in June, embrace it with both hands and drink it
Okay.
in, because you will be making very positive core memories in June that will hold you till the rest of the year.
I
So
like that.
yes, you really want to lean into it. Very positive. We have many multiple events happening that are just about sweetness. Jupiter and Venus kiss in the sky. The summer solstice starts, new moon in Gemini. Very, very positive.
Mhm.
And then we also have some breakthroughs of relationships. Chiron goes into Taurus. And
Mm.
so it's very much, yeah, there is some sort of tension on the third week about relationships and value. Otherwise, most of the month is really, really sweet. And so, yeah, they're holding hands, Garrett. They're going to hold hands they're holding hands right now in Cancer.
Yep.
And they're going to kiss in a couple days,
Okay.
June 8th to 9th.
All
And
right.
then they are going to, one's going to go into Leo and then the other one's going to join. So they're basically holding hands for all of June. And they're the two benefics, the two good
Yeah.
luck planets, positive planets. And so I know it's kind of hard to feel like, oh my gosh, June's going to be the best month of the year, but it is.
I know. I know.
Astrologically, it's going to be quite lovely and quite sweet. And I
Mhm.
shared this when I was on Nate's show earlier, is Chiron moves into Taurus. This is
Uh-huh.
the first time Chiron will move into Taurus since 1983. So this is a big
Ooh.
deal. We will feel it. Yeah, very much feel it.
Okay.
Chiron is this asteroid. It's not a planet, it's an asteroid. And it's considered called the wounded healer.
The wounded healer. Yeah.
It's a chip on our shoulder. It's our vulnerabilities. It's our insecurities. And it's not our actual greatest flaw, but it's a flaw that gets a lot of attention. And the
Mm.
visuals to really understand it, and you might be familiar with this one. This
Yep.
painting here on the left is the fate of Ophelia, Ophelia
Mhm.
from Hamlet. And so here she's like, woe is me. There's nothing to, be happy about. Everything is horrible. I'm horrible. So that's
Mhm.
Chiron. Chiron is a wound that you have. But
Yep.
then that's the first part of your life. It's a really squeaky wheel wound. The second part of your life is you master it. You learn
Wonderful.
it, and then you want to actually help other people so you can heal yourself. And so this is a famous painting with this is actually Chiron. This is the painting of Chiron, and he's actually teaching a young person to learn something that he wasn't able to at the time. And so we're
Beautiful.
doing that with Taurus themes. What is worth?
Okay.
What is valuable? Even what you said earlier in the call of like people really, waking up and getting a sense and even manifesting too, being very deliberate
Well,
with
that's
our
interesting
energy.
because I've got my spiritual alchemy class coming in June, but in July, I'm doing the ancestral healing again. And it looks like that's a good time because you're looking at the wounds
Yeah.
and now you want to, in July, you want to work on the
Yeah,
wounds.
start to
Yeah.
close them
Yeah.
up. And
Yeah.
now what is
Uh-huh.
possible now that you've
Right.
kind of
Right.
addressed your wounds? Yeah. This is
Right.
really about what's valuable too. Is it valuable to go to Las Vegas for the weekend or Yosemite?
Mhm.
There's something about really clear.
Mhm.
I was very lazy last night and I ordered a pizza because there was a sale, on
Yeah.
the ordering food apps. And I ordered this pizza and I was like, okay. And I ate it, like the 2 slices, and I just felt sick. I felt so sick and so gross that I actually just dumped the rest of the pizza. I was like,
I've done that before. I
yes,
have.
and
Yeah.
so that's Taurus value. What was valuable? Like what, and getting really clear about, hey, this was not valuable. I don't want to do any more of this. That's that metaphor of
That's
what I did last night.
fascinating.
Yeah.
That happened to me. I went in the 90s. I went in to have a hamburger at a restaurant with my
Mhm.
ex-husband, and they were huge. And I think I ate maybe a quarter of it, if that, at the most. And it was so heavy, I wanted
Yeah.
to go to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
I stopped eating meat after that exact moment.
Oh,
I
wow.
said, I
Wow.
can't be this
Yep.
person
Yep.
anymore. And I mean, mostly beef.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will have chicken, but
Yeah.
it was like the gods were saying, hello,
Yeah. Yeah.
this isn't working for you.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, they really teach us in those different ways. So
They do.
yeah, I would say Chiron, you can Google folks, just look at your chart. You want to see
Mhm,
where Taurus is for you. So you have a
mhm.
sense of what lessons you're working on. Is Taurus in your second house, your of money, your sixth house of health, your seventh house of partnership. And then you can understand what this Chiron and Taurus event happens in June, where what it means for you in terms
Yeah.
of those particular energies. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, this has been wonderful. Very nice.
Allie, you
Yeah.
are amazing. And folks, if you haven't had a reading with Allie, I highly recommend it. You are legit. You are so legit. You are so accurate. And you're also very gentle and such an amazing spiritual mentor as well. Like you just
Oh,
really,
yes, that's
you
nice.
really understand where people are and how to like nudge them. I mean,
Mm.
Allie, I see you teaching more classes than you are. I feel like this is one
Yeah,
of many
just
that you'll be
beginning.
offering in
Yeah.
the future.
Then get away from the university and move more into the spirituality, because that's
Yeah.
really what it was all set up for, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. My next dream show is always Tuesday night, Catherine. It's at 4 o'clock Pacific and 7 o'clock Eastern. I'm not going to be on this week, but Terry and Diana will be there.
Yeah.
I've got some readings that were booked and I can't go, but we
Mhm.
love it and it's a lot of fun. And everybody that comes in says, well, I don't remember my dreams. Guess what? You come to the dream show and eventually
You
you
start to
start
remember it. Yeah.
remembering them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The collective energy is quite, and if
Yeah.
there's like a lot of dreams and you're not able to get into the queue, like save it, write it down, then
Save it.
come back next week. You know, you
Yeah.
usually within one or two,
Uh-huh.
your dream will be in queue.
Hello, Linda Kennedy.
Aw,
Thanks
thank you.
everybody for
Thank you
being
everyone
here.
for joining. We really
Yes,
appreciate you
yes.
all.
Take care of yourselves.
Of
Ness,
course,
thank
yeah.
you so much for
Of
coming.
course,
Much
of
love.
course, and
Bye.
happy full moon in Sag, and also
There you
just
go.
congratulations on all of us for June. We made it.
Yay! Enjoy, everybody. Much love.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.